Well, hello, everybody. It's Dana from the Run Eat Drink podcast at runeatdrink.net. It's Tuesday, and you know what time that is. Or wait a minute. It's Tuesday, it's 6 p.m., and you know what that means. It means it's time for week 5, day 1 of the Galloway Easy 5K that we're going to be doing to get us off the couch and perhaps running our first 5K. I figured I'd do a little intro here while I waited to see if my video's working and maybe get somebody to jump in and tell me if they can see and hear everything okay. Because coming from the Wi Fi out here, I think I turned everything off the way it ought to be, but I can't be too sure. So hopefully somebody will jump in and tell me if they can see and hear me okay. But in the meantime, I just wanted to kind of let everybody know, if you are new to this video or this video in this series of videos, what we're doing is introducing people to Galloway's Couch to 5K or Easy 5K method, really for those people who came to the show that maybe weren't um, originally runners. Hey, Katie, how are you? You can hear me. Can you see me okay? Hopefully you can. If you can't see me, then I'm going to have to restart this thing. Oh, excellent. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad that you're able to see me. But I wanted to let everybody know, what this is to do is to introduce people who aren't coming to us as runners initially to the idea of doing their first 5K. And it's a super easy approach that we're taking. It's a very um, generous time frame that we're doing the race in. We are training over the course of an 8-week period to go from no running experience at all to doing your first 5K in about 16 minutes a mile. And we're doing it using the run, walk, run method, which makes it super approachable for most people, regardless of initial fitness level. And of course, the caveat to that is I'm not a doctor. I don't know my butt from my elbow. So don't take medical advice from this guy. Okay. Don't want to do that. But for most people, after you've checked with your doctor, this is a great program to do because you can approach running in small, bite sized chunks. And we're only doing a running segment of 5 seconds and a walk segment of 25 seconds, which means out of every minute that we're out here running, you're only going to be running for a total of 10 seconds. Super approachable. So today's training run is week 5, day 1, and that means that we are doing a 3-minute warm up, a 3-minute cool down, and a 20-minute run in between. And during that 20 minutes, we're going to be doing the 5-second, 25-second intervals that I was just talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started so we can get down the road and get some of this going here. Let's see. I programmed everything into my Garmin watch because you can add custom workouts, and that makes it very easy for me to see when I have to do my my intervals. So let's see here. Let's select the correct one. That always helps. Hey, Amy. Hello. Hopefully you are on a break, or maybe you got out of work early. Amy had to go back to work today. The kids here at home miss you. I came home. The dogs are like, "You're not, Mom." I was like, "No, I am not." Uh-oh. All right. I'm actually fat fingering my watch today. So let's see if I can get this right. There we go. Got it. Goodness. Okay. I selected the Captain America shirt today because it is a little on the warm side out here, not gonna lie. And I just didn't feel like sweating to death. So I went with something lightly colored and very moisture wicking. I actually was half tempted to leave a white t-shirt on and come out here and run, but I did not want to break my cardinal rule, which is no cotton. Aside from t-shirts I wear under my dress shirts at work, I've almost completely abolished cotton from my wardrobe because or certainly from my running wardrobe, because it is just brutal. It captures all of your sweat, it gets heavy, and for longer runs, it gets abrasive. Nobody needs that. So if you're jumping into the chat, say hi, tell me who you are. I can see the number of people, but I can't initially see who you are until you say something to me. And I'm doing my best to keep track of the comments as we go. Yeah, it's kind of warm here. It's going to be in the upper 80s to lower 90s today. And right now we have, as you can see, very little in the way of cloud cover and plenty of sun. Welcome to Florida in the summertime. So, I hope everybody's having a good day. It was a busy day at work for me, but it was nice to knock it out, get home. I threw some food in the Instant Pot. Actually, I got the dogs fed. I actually didn't walk them. Now that I just thought about it. So hopefully they'll be good for the next 23 minutes, 26 minutes, and then I will take them out for a nice long walk, because I decided I was going to throw some split pea soup in the Instant Pot, and I had to do my mise en place and get all of my veggies cut up to the correct size, throw the water and spices in, and let it go. But the good news is I'll be done with this, done with the dogs walking, get in, relax for a bit, then ding, I will have fresh, delicious split pea soup, nice and smoky, tons of veggies, ready to rock. And I should have about 8 servings of that ready to go. Nice and vegan and super tasty. So, all right, we're about 16 seconds away from our first running interval. And yeah, I've had some people shoot me messages and they're like, hey, is the 5-second interval something I have to do? Absolutely not. If you're doing any kind of an interval, and you're already comfortable doing an interval, do what you're comfortable with. Go for it. The whole idea is to get you off the couch and trying something new. And here's a dirty secret. If you're not comfortable with any interval, that's okay too. If your first time doing this is just to get out and work your way up to walking a 5K, walk the 5K. Walk the 5K. What's wrong with that? I mean, our stated goal is to get you to that 16 minute a mile or better mark. And the reason for that is when you start training to do Run Disney events, I'm going to say, in the eventual likelihood that their events are coming back, we want you to be at or below 16 minutes a mile so that you can stay ahead of the balloon ladies. Hey, Tyler, how are you? Rhonda, hey, we got a whole group going here. That's phenomenal. So the whole purpose of this is to start getting you ready so that if you said, you know what, I'm going to do that local 5K, and after you build up that confidence, you decide you want to go do a Run Disney event. 5Ks, they don't normally have sweepers or balloon ladies. 10Ks, halves, and fulls, they do. You work your way up, maybe you go, I'm going to do a 10K. You're not going to get swept. We're going to have you where you need to be so that you can run with confidence, enjoy the course, enjoy the amazing scenery that go their races, and accomplish a goal so that then you can go explore and indulge. That's the plan. So, anyway, that should have everybody pretty well up to speed on why we're doing this. I'm also getting the double whammy of a shoulder workout because I have to hold the gimbal and the camera while I'm running. So that's the reason for the alternating camera angle that you see. So as not to completely destroy one shoulder or the other. So forgive me for that. Progress here. We now have a dumpster, and the construction site is still the construction site. Not much else. But that'll be a house in no time. Hey, Dana. Yeah, it is, it's a warm one. Not gonna lie. I hydrated with water while I was making dinner, and then hopefully I've got enough of my fluids back from donating blood the other day. It shouldn't be an issue. I've never really gotten sick from donating blood, and we're now talking a few days after, so no biggie. Hey, Amy. I see you back in the chat. You're bouncing from Facebook to YouTube. So hopefully audio and video is looking good in both spots. The best part of this to me is people getting to actually see this is the level of exertion we're talking about, where you're still able to have a conversation, you're not killing yourself, and you are able to, carry on a conversation with a running buddy. And if you can't do that, it's time to back off. And you have to take into account when you got sun like this. I'm pointing to the angry day star right there. Sometimes you have to adjust your expectations and slow down and increase your pace in training so that on race day, you're able to take it nice and slow at the beginning, stay steady throughout, and finish with fuel in the tank. We've been lucky, and I got to remember to do it, and I'll do it today. I will do the screenshot of the Garmin app so that you can get a look at what just this 5-second interval is doing to the time and how much faster it makes you. And we have been consistently training at or below that 16 minute a mile mark. Rhonda, is there much humidity? For us, no. It gets much worse here in the summer. We've had some relatively dry days here lately. I think that's the benefit of a minor cold front that came in north of us. But it's all relative. Tourists coming here are dying and saying this is awful. It's not as bad as it gets in August, September. It gets much worse. But it is a warm one today. Can't hide that fact. Can't make that look any better. All right. You'll notice on the ground here, the majority of the shade is caused by me, and these useless palm trees aren't doing anything to help me. Nothing. They're pretty to drive past, that's about it. And here we go. The general pace that I'm doing is 1 footfall per second during the walking interval and 1.5 to 2 footfalls per second during the run interval. And when I say that, I mean that my left foot is hitting once every second during the walk or 1.5 to 2 times during the run. Always the same foot. And what you can do, and we may touch on this if I do the faster 5K program next, is some of the speed interval or some of the speed work Jeff does, which increases your rate of turnover, which is how many footfalls in a set amount of time. And you'll start out doing several of those, trying to get progressively faster with each one. And those cadence drills really do an amazing job at helping your overall speed. And it also teaches you to shorten up your stride. And having that shorter stride ultimately makes you more comfortable, reduces injury, the likelihood for things like plantar fasciitis, at least so I've read and been told. All right, let me see. Excellent. I find running in the humidity the worst. It is the worst. It's the absolute worst. There's a section of our running trail that we do, and if we get to a certain point on this trail, it goes out by these salt marshes. And the salt marshes are pretty to look at, but you get horseflies, mosquitoes, and the worst humidity. It's like running into a wall of steam. It's terrible. So we try to do that course early in the morning or during fall and winter months because it's so miserable. All right, here we go. I see Amy chiming in there. Thank you so much. Glad you're able to do that. That's helpful. Oh, I did find a patch of shade. Look at that. It's super small. And it actually wasn't tall enough to cast shade on my face. Damn it. Only on my feet. All right. See? Look at this. Darn near useless shade. Didn't do anything for me. Look at that. Oh, man. Come on. Oh well. Okay. I'm trying to read, and right now I've got wicked glare, so I apologize for not being able to reply more directly. Let me see here. You would probably find it too hot. It sucks, not gonna lie. Even if you live here. Oh yeah, Aim, you'll get there. For you, it's a matter of rebuilding the strength and just taking your time. There's no sense in rushing it. You know, we might know the people that set our running calendar, and we could put in a word with them and say, hey, help us out. All right, let me see here. Whew. Man, oh man. So if you guys are doing this either live or in replay, drop in a comment and let me know what interval you're doing and how's it going? How are you feeling about this? Are you surprised by the results you're seeing? Are you still a little skeptical that you're going to see results? I'd be curious. Whew. Okay, there's a little shade right here. Small things make me very happy. Oh, awesome, Katie. Fantastic. Oh, I hear a dog barking. And it's not one that I recognize. Whew. Probably best I didn't bring the dogs with me. Whew. Yeah, the heat is something else. I may sneak into the driveway, grab a sip of water, and then double up on an interval just to make up for it so that I can wet my whistle a little bit. But that's the nice thing about the Galloway method, you're in control. And by then we'll be in the back half of the run. We've already done 27 running intervals with only 13 to go. And we have gas in the tank. And we'll have time if we wanted to finish it strong. So that's the beauty of this method. I didn't kill myself starting out, where at the end I was smoked, breathing hard, wishing I was dead, calling for medics. None of that stuff. You know, the idea, because we talked about this being kind of pre-training for a Run Disney event, is you may want to go to the park after the run. So you don't want to get injured, and you don't want to be so tired that you're falling asleep on the Tower of Terror or Space Mountain, or if somebody finds you face down in a Dole Whip. That would be wrong. Oh yeah, definitely getting a little sippy sip of water. So I'm counting my steps as I go in the run segment, and I'm getting between 7 and 8 footfalls in that 5-second period. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Exactly. So not an overly aggressive pace, not a sprint by far. Nobody wants that. So, ooh, somebody's little dog is yipping. You can see over here more construction. Another house going up. Good in the short term. That means more porta potties for us on long training runs. Bad in the long term, because if I really got smoked on a long run and I wanted to cut through a field, I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. And I don't typically do it for a couple of reasons. I don't know if I've shown you guys the burrowing owls we have here at Cape Coral. They're pretty cool. They're tiny, about the size of a Smurf, 3 apples tall. They dig these holes, have their babies, usually 3-4 hatchlings. Mom and dad stay and raise them, and they stand. The city goes around and puts up little perches for them to give them a vantage point to look out for predators. And if they haven't marked a burrow, you can inadvertently find them with your feet. It's a great way to twist an ankle. Whew, okay. Oh, let's see. I will likely go back to 2040. 2040 is a good interval. That's a nice and like a 1 to 2. It's aggressive. It's fast. But you're literally, twice as long in either your walk or your run. For me, that would be a 20-second run, 40-second walk. And I'm doubling up here. There we go. And I got 5 more intervals to go, and we're done. Then the 3-minute cool down. So, again, I'm hoping that what you guys are seeing is something you find you look at me and go, I could do that. I mean, that's not that hard. And he's doing it, so I know I can do it. That's the goal. This is to make running approachable to everybody and open the sport up. Something Jeff's been a real champion for throughout his post-Olympic career. And we're just very grateful to be clients and have him as a coach and a friend. And here we are. This is 3 more run segments and then a 3-minute walk. So I'm going to try to kind of time it, go back by the truck, grab my water, and cool off with my beverage. So, yeah, 20-40. I like that. I'm kind of weird. Like, I like to break my intervals to 30-second or 60-second segments, and it's just my mild OCD, I guess. Because you can make your segment anything you want. You could do a 7-second run, a 35-second walk if you wanted. But for me, I tend to do 5-second increments, trying to get it to a 30 or 60-second mark. So 20-40 would be ideal. 30-30. I used to do 1 minute, 1 minute. And what I ended up finding, I could do it, but I wasn't getting any faster. Ooh, I got sweat in my eye. Any faster doing that than I was doing a 30-30. And what I was finding was that at the end of the run, I was completely smoked. So, grabbing the water, and we're about to start the 3-minute in about 10 seconds. It's just incredible what the intervals do, and the erasing of fatigue that you do throughout your run by interspersing the walk breaks ends up making you faster during the later segments of the run, which, again, I think is the secret sauce to this, and something that people who are new to the run, walk, run method aren't expecting. And then when you get down, you're like, wait a minute, I feel really good. I crossed the finish line, and there's plenty of people behind me. And you'd be shocked going to a Disney event, even if you did even a 5:55, as long as you keep your walk pace up and don't slow down to like a 20-minute a mile walk. You're shocked at how many people you're passing at the end, even doing that. And they may have started out in a corral ahead of you or a corral behind you, and they felt the need to really, pour the gas on coming out the gate. And that's just, it's a neat feeling, You're like, wow. And it's all about resource management over the course of your total time running. So keep that in mind, Comparison is the thief of joy, they say. I know that Amy has posted some stuff and some of her more inspirational memes, not necessarily coffee memes, although I'm pretty inspired by coffee, that talks about you don't compare yourself to other runners. Your run and your training and your body are unique, and you do what you need to do for your body, for your fitness level, for your abilities, and you can adjust and improve. And it's amazing what you can see. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Glad you could jump in. Even these last few months, I've even shaved 30 to 60 seconds per kilometer. See? Isn't that amazing? And that's the other thing, is when you practice and make sure that your turnover is good during your walk segments and that you're not too tired. Because when you get really, really smoked, your walk sometimes can go, and that ends up dragging you down, and then you end up creating this deficit, a speed deficit that you can't outrun. So by being conservative at the beginning, you're actually able to be faster overall. And again, it's so counterintuitive. I know, I've been there, I've done it. When we say that we've made every running mistake that we can possibly make, Amy and I aren't kidding. We literally have. And that's okay. And here we go. Let me sit this down and stop my watch, and I'll try to give you guys some of the pertinent stats here. So let's go to save and see what the magic Garmin says here. All signs point to yes. Okay, so this is telling me that total distance covered was 1.71 miles, and the average pace was, well, the average pace will come back in a second, 15 minutes, 27 seconds per mile. So we're already 33 seconds faster in our training run than we need to be for a Disney event. So now the main goal over the next 3 weeks is going to be increasing our total distance on long run day, which we've talked about in the past 5 weeks. Long run day is on Saturday. That's the 7 a.m. run that we do. And for the last couple of weeks, or actually for the last 5 weeks, we haven't run a bit of it. Nothing. Zero. Because that is not about building your speed. That run is about building your endurance, getting your body used to being on its feet that long, getting your feet used to being used at a accelerated rate for that amount of time. Hey, Jojo, welcome. I'm glad you could jump in. We are at that point now, being in week 5 out of week 8, where we're going to be coming upon the 5K day, where we're going to actually run a 5K, doing the intervals the entire time. And I think you're going to be really, really pleased. So if you've been doing this along with me or doing it in the replay, the progress you've been making is cumulative and it's slow, but it's there. And I promise you're going to really like the results at the end. So if you've been doing it, stick with it. If you're just starting, keep going. And if you came late to the game, do what you can. Don't feel like you've got to do the exact thing that we're doing. You don't have to rush it. We think we're going to be doing more of this, like the couch to 5K. We'll do the faster 5K. Then maybe I'll do the couch to 10K so that people can see the program and choose to do it with me if they want to or not. So anyway, watch. I actually managed to stop my watch and save it. So I'm going to get credit. It's the real deal. I'm going to do a screenshot and drop it into the chat so you guys can take a look. I also have food in the Instant Pot. For those that came late, I'm making some vegan split pea soup tonight. A little bit of liquid smoke to give me the impression that there may have been a ham hock in there, even though there's not. And we are going to be getting the episode out tonight. And we are so sorry about that. The weekend caught up with us. The week getting Amy ready to head back to work was just such that we had to, have a little bit of extra time. But we'll have the episode out tonight. Please give it a listen. If you haven't caught up, the most recent episode is in the feed right now. runeatdrink.net. You can click on listen now. Of course, we would prefer it if you would subscribe in your favorite podcatcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you listen to podcasts, except for Spotify. We're there, and we'd love for you to subscribe. So anyway, Jessica, say hi to the hubby for me. Katie, thank you so much. You enjoy your evening. Amy, you hurry home. We'll get to recording and dropping that episode. And guys, rest up tomorrow, and I'll see you back here on Thursday.